Ableism is a discrimination or prejudice against people with disabilities, often though negative stereotypes and barriers that limit their opportunities. In Australia, it affects areas like education, employment, healthcare, and housing, preventing full societal participation. Despite legal protections, people with disabilities still face significant challenges in accessing equal opportunities. Hi there, welcome. My name is Yeshua Chenki, and today we'll be talking about ableism as a social job. The agendas are quite straightforward. We have causes of problems, mistreatment, fear and discomfort, consequences of mental toll. How does this ism of ableism, structural oppression, is important for criminologists to understand? We'll be diving into the intersectionality and the impact of this structural ableism on just and outcomes, and recognizing and helping criminologists. Rassett et al. 2025 found that individuals with disabilities continue to face widespread discrimination in various aspects of life, including education, employment, and social participation. However, their research highlight a stark difference in the frequency and intensity of discrimination between those with mental disabilities and those with physical disabilities. Key points from their findings include higher frequency of discrimination of mental disabilities, individuals with mental disabilities including cognitive, intellectual, and psychological conditions. Intersectionally of discrimination, the research also notes that discrimination is compounded for individuals with both mental and physical disabilities. The distincts between different types of disabilities should also be acknowledged in the research of the dehumanization of individuals with disability. Rassett et al. 2025. Mistreatment. The historical mistreatment of disabled individuals, highlighting practices such as harmful medical treatments, sexual forced sterilization, including the removal of reproductive organs to prevent childbirth, medical experimentation, and even extermination, as Naria Redmond 2021 cited in Kerr Shakespeare 2002, Morris 1991. Fear and discomfort. Why is this important? Well, understanding the cause of avoidance, it also indicates that the discomfort or avoidance some people show towards individuals with disability is not always deliberate prejudice. It can arise from instinctive fear and disgust responses, known as disease avoidance mechanisms. Recognizing this helps clarify why ableism continues to exist even in societies that value equality. Overextensions of fear, when natural responses meant to avoid disease are mistakenly applied to people with non-contagious disability. It demonstrates how automatic mental processes can perpetuate discrimination. Despite the absence of any real threat, researchers show that discomfort may even avoid eye contact with people who have disabilities, sometimes extending this avoidance to objects associated with them. Maguire and Haddad 1999, as cited in Naria Redmond 2019, said, this behavior aligns with the disease avoidance model, which suggests that fear and disgust response towards pathogens. It can be overgeneralized to people with non-contagious disabilities. Similarly, Schaller and Newberg argue that Such reactions reflect evolved psychological mechanisms can misfire in modern social contexts, reinforcing prejudice towards disability and disabled individuals. Consequences. Rather than attempting to ignore or conceal their disability to maintain positive self-regard, individuals can employ social creativity and social change strategies to enhance this understanding of disability and improve the treatment of disabled individuals. These approaches not only shield people from prejudice, but also foster positive outcomes for the entire community. By preserving their group as valuable and gaining respect, individuals can experience feelings of pride and empowerment, acknowledging the achievements and worth of disabled communities. Disabled communities may contribute to develop a stronger self-esteem and have a sense of belonging. The contrast with negatives shows that without these strategies, individuals might rely on avoidance or escaping. Disabled or escaping. This ability to maintain self-esteem, which could have less empowerment and no sense of belonging. Stronger self-worth is shown, and it's feeling that you're part of a valued group. Experiencing discrimination can lead to enduring mental health challenges, such as heightened risk of depression, anxiety, low self-esteem, and suicidal thoughts. Additionally, activists Alexander Kermeling and Artie McWilliams emphasizes that insufficient accommodations and societal acceptance can be further negatively affect the mental well-being of individuals with disabilities. Criminologists need to understand ableism and social oppression because they shape how people experience the criminal justice system and influence how crime and policing. Disabled individuals often face systematic disadvantages such as high risk of victimization, over-policing, and unfair treatment in the courts and correctional facilities. They may also hesitate to report crimes due to the fear of not being believed or being treated unfairly. These barriers can affect crime statistics and reduce the effectiveness of law enforcement. Intersectionality and the impact of structural ableisms on justice outcomes. This also fits in within how criminologists can see ableism. Structural ableism often intersects with other forms of inequality such as racism, classism, and gender bias, which can worsen social disparities and influence crime patterns and sentencing outcomes. Researched by Sher et al., cited as in Naria Redmond 2019. That research shows that disabled people experience higher levels of employment, discrimination, and poverty, increasing their likelihood of involvement with the criminal justice system. Recognizing these systematic barriers enables criminologists to develop more equitable police, offer improved support for victims, and implement strategies that address the underlying social factors contributing to crime. Recognizing and helping criminologists. Being aware of social oppression helps criminologists take an intersectional approach to the justice system. Recognizing ableism and structural inequalities forms research and policy that reduce bias and promote inclusion. This approach protects marginalized groups and contributes to a fair, more effective criminal justice system. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit the like, smash the like button. Peace.